Do you ever feel like you're not in control? Like you are a puppet, and invisible strings are pulling you in directions you did not choose? You wake up, and your mind is already racing with anxiety, a feeling that comes from nowhere. You check your phone, and a headline sends a jolt of anger or despair through your system. You get in your car, and someone cuts you off, triggering an immediate, almost programmed rage. You go through your day, reacting, always reacting, to a script you never wrote. We live our lives convinced we are free, yet we are slaves to our habits, our triggers, and our unexplained moods. We feel tossed on an ocean of chaos, clinging to the wreckage of our plans, praying for a moment of peace. We call it bad luck. We call it fate. We call it just the way things are. But what if it isn't chaos? What if the reality you experience, every single part of it, from the anxiety you feel to the person who just cut you off in traffic, is not random at all? What if it's a system, a complex, elegant, and perfectly balanced machine operating on immutable laws, just as precise as the laws of gravity or thermodynamics? What if the reason you feel like a puppet is because you have never been taught the physics of consciousness? You have never been given the instruction manual. Millennia ago, in the dawn of civilization along the fertile banks of the Nile, the ancient Egyptians revered a god unlike any other. He was not a god of the sun, or the earth, or the dead. He was Thoth, the ibis-headed god, the scribe of the gods. Thoth was the master of Wicca, or magic. But to the Egyptians, magic was not superstition. It was the understanding of the deep, hidden mechanics of the universe. Thoth was the divine architect, the one who understood the Creator's operating system. He recorded the fundamental laws of reality, the source code that governs the cosmos, from the path of a galaxy to the firing of a neuron in your brain. When Alexander the Great conquered Egypt, this profound wisdom captivated the Greek philosophers. In the great melting pot of Alexandria, the Egyptian Thoth was syncretized with the Greek god Hermes, the messenger. From this fusion, a new figure was born, Hermes Trismegistus, the thrice great. The wisdom attributed to him, known as Hermeticism, became the secret fire, the underground river that fed all of Western esoteric thought. It was whispered in Gnostic sects, studied in secret by Islamic alchemists, and finally burst forth in the Renaissance, fueling the minds of men like Leonardo da Vinci, Giordano Bruno, and even Sir Isaac Newton. For centuries, these teachings were hidden, available only to initiates. But in 1908, a mysterious, anonymous text was published titled the Kybalion. It claimed to be a modern synthesis of these ancient, lost Hermetic teachings. It presented, for the first time, in clear, modern language, the 7 Hermetic Principles. These 7 principles are the instruction manual you were never given. They are the laws of reality's operating system. To the Gnostics, they were the keys to escaping the mental prison. To the alchemist, they were the formula for turning lead into gold. And for you, they are the practical guide to moving from a life of reaction to a life of conscious creation. This is not philosophy. This is a workshop. In this journey, we will not just learn these 7 principles, we will apply them. We will decode Thoth's ancient code and in doing so, you will learn to master the one thing you can truly control, your own mind. And by changing your mind, you will quite literally change your life. The first principle is the foundation upon which all the others stand. It is the master key that unlocks every other door. The Kybalion states it clearly. The all is mind. The universe is mental. What does this mean? It means that the universe in its entirety, every galaxy, every star, every planet, every tree, every atom, every thought, every person you have ever met, is a mental creation, held in the mind of a singular, infinite, and unknowable consciousness, the All. This is not to say that the world isn't real. Your chair is real, the floor beneath your feet is real, but its substance is not materia. Its substance is mental. Think of it this way. You have a dream. In that dream, you build a house, you climb a mountain, you talk to a friend. Inside that dream, the house is real, the mountain is hard, the friend is solid. You can feel, touch, and interact with them. But upon waking, you realize that the entire dream, including the version of you inside of it, was a construct. Where did it exist? It existed in your mind. The Hermeticists teach that our relationship to the All is the same as the dream character's relationship to you. We are thoughts in the divine mind. The universe is the All's great meditation. Now, why is this the most important principle? Because it has a staggering implication. If the universe is mental, then your mind is not just some isolated biocomputer. Your mind is a microcosm of the mind. You are a droplet of the divine ocean, and a droplet does not just contain the ocean, it is the ocean in miniature. It shares the same nature, the same properties. This means you are a co-creator. Your thoughts are not passive, observational things. Your thoughts are creative. The Gnostic traditions, which grew alongside Hermeticism in Alexandria, understood this principle, but they saw it as a tragedy. They saw this mental universe as a flawed creation, a prison designed by a lesser god, the demiurge. They saw the archives as parasitic thought forms that hijack this mental plane, convincing you that their thoughts are your thoughts, keeping you trapped in a loop of fear and desire. The Hermetic tradition agrees that the universe is mental, but it sees it not as a prison, but as a classroom. It is a divine training ground designed to teach you how to use your own creative mental power. The archons of the Gnostics are real, but they are not external demons. They are the parasitic, habitual, negative thought patterns that you have allowed to take root in your own mind. They are the thought webs we spoke of earlier, the anxiety, the rage, the despair. Their power comes from one single source, your belief in them, your unconscious co-creation. You are not a victim of the world. You are a victim of your own unmanaged, unexamined, and undisciplined thoughts. When you think a thought of lack, I am not good enough, I will never be successful, you are not just having a thought. You are initiating a creative command. You are focusing your divine mental energy, and the mental universe, which operates on this law, must reflect that creation back to you. Your life becomes a living testament to your most dominant habitual beliefs. This is the ultimate responsibility. It is both terrifying and profoundly liberating. Let's make this practical. Practical application, the Creator's Sandbox. I want you to try a thought experiment. Look at an object near you. Your smartphone will do. This phone is solid, physical. You can touch it, but was it always? No. Before it was a physical object, it was a schematic. Before it was a schematic, it was a collection of ideas in the minds of engineers. Before it was a collection of ideas, it was a single spark, a non-physical, purely mental intention. Let's create a pocket computer. That physical object in your hand began as a thought. A thought, when held with intention and energy, organized matter around itself until it became real. Now, look at your life, your job, your relationships, your health, your bank account. These are the physical objects of your world, and just like the smartphone, every single one of them began as a thought. Not just one thought, but a dominant pattern of thought. Your current life is the physical three-dimensional printout of your most deeply held habitual beliefs. If you are constantly in financial struggle, it is the physical printout of a core belief system about lack, scarcity, or not being worthy. If you are in chaotic relationships, it is the physical printout of a belief about not being lovable or being destined for conflict. So, for the next 24 hours, your exercise is to become the witness of your thoughts. Carry a small notebook or use your phone. When you feel a strong negative emotion, stop. Ask, what thought just preceded this feeling? Write it down. Do not judge it. Do not fight it. Just observe. I will never get this done. That person thinks I'm an idiot. I'm always unlucky. You are simply taking inventory. You are identifying the mental blueprints you have been unconsciously sending to the universe. The Gnostics called this gnosis, or knowledge. You're turning the light of awareness onto the archonic programs running in your subconscious. This is the first step. You cannot change a program you do not know exists. The principle of mentalism teaches you that to change your life, you must first change the thoughts that are creating it. If mentalism is the canvas, the second principle, correspondence, is the map. It gives us the structure. The law is famous, etched into the mythical emerald tablet of Thoth, as above, so below, as below, so above. This is the master key of the microcosm and the macrocosm. It means there is a direct, unbreakable harmony and correspondence between all planes of existence. The patterns of the cosmos, the above, are perfectly reflected in the patterns of your life, the below. And, crucially, the reverse is also true. The patterns of your inner life, your mind, below, are reflected in the heavens, above. The universe is a great hologram. Every fragment contains the image of the whole. Look at the patterns in nature. The spiral of a galaxy above is the same spiral found in a seashell, a pine cone, and the whirl of your fingerprint below. The branching of a tree's roots below is the same branching pattern found in a river delta, in a lightning bolt, and in the neural pathways of your brain above. The orbit of electrons around a nucleus below mirrors the orbit of planets around a star above. The universe repeats its favorite patterns on every scale, from the infinitely large to the infinitely small. But this principle is not just about poetic imagery. It is a powerful, practical tool for understanding. It means you can understand the greatest secrets of the cosmos by looking within yourself. And you can understand the deepest truths of yourself by observing the cosmos. As above, so below has two primary applications in your life. First, it means your external world is a perfect reflection of your internal world. Your above, your mental, emotional, and spiritual state, dictates your below, your physical, material reality. This is a step beyond mentalism. Mentalism says your thoughts create. Correspondence says Your creations will be a mirror image of your thoughts. If your inner world above is filled with chaos, judgment, and fear, your outer world below must reflect that. You will experience chaotic events, meet judgmental people, and find yourself in situations that trigger your fear. Your external life is not happening to you, it is corresponding with you. If you want to know the state of your inner self, you don't need to meditate for 10 years. Just look at your life. Look at your desk. Look at your relationships. Look at your bank account. The below is a perfect, unflinching mirror of the above. When you truly grasp this, you stop trying to change the world. It is as futile as trying to change your reflection by yelling at the mirror. You cannot change the reflection. You can only change the object being reflected. You. Second, this principle allows you to solve the unknown. The Hermeticists used as above, so below to understand the heavens. They knew that by understanding the human body below, they could understand the body of the cosmos above. You can use it in your daily life. When you face a problem you can't solve, find its corresponding pattern on a different plane. Struggling with a complex business problem? Look at how nature solves a similar problem. How does a forest, a complex system, manage resources? How does a beehive organize its labor? Struggling with a creative block? Look at the above. The divine mind is endlessly creative. It never runs out of ideas. The block isn't in the source. It's in the receiver. Let's make this practical. Practical application. The reflective journal. This exercise will change how you see the world. For the next 48 hours, you will live by one new rule. Nothing is random. Everything is a message. You will treat your entire life as a below that is reflecting your above. When something happens, you will not react. You will interpret. You get a flat tire. The victim reaction is, "Why me? This is terrible." The Hermetic reaction is, "Interesting. This is a message of stoppage and blockage. Where in my inner life, above, am I blocked? Where am I resisting my own path?" A coworker is rude to you. The victim reaction is, "They're a terrible person." The Hermetic reaction is, "This person is reflecting judgment. Where am I judging myself harshly? Or where am I judging others in the same way?" An unexpected check arrives in the mail. This is a reflection of my inner state of receptivity and abundance. I must be on the right track. This exercise is not about blaming yourself for bad events. It's about empowering yourself. It shifts you from a passive victim to an active interpreter. You are no longer living in a world of random, meaningless chaos. You are living in a world of profound, meaningful correspondence. The Gnostic called this reading the signs. The universe is constantly speaking to you. The principle of correspondence is the language it speaks. By learning this language, you discover that the answer to every question you have out there is already in here. The third principle, vibration, is the engine that drives the first two. Mentalism is the canvas, correspondence is the map, but vibration is the energy that brings it all to life. The Kybalion states, "Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates." Millennia before modern science, the Hermeticists taught that everything in the universe is in a state of constant motion. There is no such thing as rest. Modern physics has now proven this to be literal, observable fact. At a quantum level, the chair you are sitting on is not a solid, static object. It is a roiling, chaotic storm of electrons and quarks vibrating at an almost incomprehensible speed. The difference between a rock, a glass of water, and the air you breathe is not one of substance. It is only one of vibration. Matter is simply energy, or spirit, vibrating at a very low and dense frequency. Spirit is simply matter, vibrating at an infinitely high and fast frequency. Between these two poles, pure spirit and dense matter, are billions of different vibrational levels, and everything exists on this spectrum. A rock has a low vibration. A plant has a higher vibration. An animal higher still. A human even higher. But this principle doesn't just apply to physical things, it applies to the mental plane as well. Your thoughts are vibrations, your emotions are vibrations. A thought of fear is a slow, dense, heavy vibration. A thought of gratitude is a light, fast, expansive vibration. When you say someone has good vibes or bad vibes, you are not using a metaphor. You are literally describing the vibrational frequency they are emitting. This is the secret behind the law of attraction. This law has been deeply misunderstood. It is not about wishing for a new car and finding it in your driveway. The law is simple. Like attracts like. A tuning fork tuned to the key of C will resonate with another tuning fork of the same key. It does not attract a fork tuned to G. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you are. You attract things, people, and circumstances that resonate with your dominant habitual state of being, your vibe. If your dominant habitual state of being is one of fear, lack, and resentment, you must attract people and circumstances that resonate with fear, lack, and resentment. You are a tuning fork for disaster. You will meet people who betray you. You will find yourself in situations that confirm your belief that the world is against you. If your dominant, habitual state of being is one of gratitude, joy, and purpose, you must attract people and circumstances that resonate with that frequency. You will meet helpful, inspiring people. You will find yourself in situations of flow and synchronicity. This is why positive thinking so often fails. You can stand in front of a mirror chanting, "I am wealthy," for an hour, but this is just a single thought. If your deep, core emotional state, your vibration, is screaming, "I am broke and terrified," which frequency do you think the universe is going to answer? The universe does not respond to the words you say, it responds to the vibration you are. Your job then is not to chase after things. Your job is to manage your vibration. Practical application. The vibrational inventory. This exercise is simple but profoundly effective. It's about learning to feel your frequency. For the next few days, I want you to become a vibrational connoisseur. Step 1. Identify the low frequencies. When you feel fear, shame, guilt, or anger, do not suppress it. Feel it. Where is it in your body? Notice its texture. Is it heavy, dense, slow, cold? Is it jagged? Recognize this as a low vibrational state. Do not judge it. Just name it. This is fear. Step 2. Identify the high frequencies. When you feel gratitude, joy, love, or deep peace, savor it. Where is it? Notice its texture. Is it light, fast, expansive, warm, flowing? Recognize this as a high vibrational state. Name it. This is gratitude. The 3-minute reset. You cannot go from deep shame to pure joy in one leap, but you can shift your vibration. When you catch yourself in a low vibrational state, like anxiety, you are going to perform a reset. Stop. Take a deep breath. Acknowledge the low state. I am vibrating with anxiety right now. Choose a new frequency. The easiest and most powerful one is gratitude. For 3 minutes, find things to be grateful for. Do not just think them, feel them. Start small. I am grateful for the air I am breathing. I am grateful for the heart that is beating in my chest. I am grateful for the roof over my head. I am grateful for coffee. Feel the shift. Feel the vibration in your body literally begin to change. Feel it get lighter, faster, warmer. You have just become an active manager of your own energy field. The principle of vibration teaches that you are a living broadcasting tower. What you broadcast is what you receive. By learning to consciously choose your frequency, you become the musical director of your own life. The fourth principle, polarity, gives us the tool to change our vibration. This is the art of mental alchemy. The Kybalion states, everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has its pair of opposites. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. This principle explains that there is no such thing as an absolute. Everything just is. At first, this seems counterintuitive. Surely, hot and cold are two different things. Surely, light and dark are opposites. Surely, love and hate are mortal enemies. The Hermeticists say, no. Hot and cold are not two different things. They are two ends of a single spectrum called temperature. Where does hot stop and cold begin on a thermometer? There is no clear line. It is only a matter of degree. Light and dark are not two different things. They are two ends of the spectrum of light. Darkness is not a thing in itself. It is merely the absence of light. This is true for the physical plane, and crucially, it is true for the mental plane. Love and hate are not two different things. They are two ends of a single pole of attachment. Courage and fear are not two different things. They are two ends of a single pole of confidence. Joy and despair are not two different things. They are two ends of a single pole of mood. Opposites are just two faces of the same coin. This is the great secret of the Gnostic archons or parasitic thought forms. They thrive on polarity. They want you to fight. They want you to resist your fear, to hate your anger, to despair over your sadness. Why? Because when you fight a negative, you are feeding it your energy. You are holding your attention firmly on the negative end of the pole. The more you fight the darkness, the more real you make it. You cannot destroy a negative. It is impossible. You cannot destroy cold. You can only transmute it. How do you get rid of cold in a room? You don't try to shovel it out the window. You simply add hot, that is, raise the vibration, by turning on the heater. The cold doesn't go anywhere. It simply transmutes into hot. You cannot destroy fear. You cannot destroy hate. You can only transmute them. This is the art of mental alchemy. This is turning the lead of a low vibrational state into the gold of a high vibrational state. You are an alchemist, and your mind is your laboratory. You do this by a conscious act of will. You learn to slide your mental state along the pole from the negative to the positive. Practical application: the alchemical reframe. This exercise requires you to identify a core fear. Be honest with yourself. Perhaps it's a fear of public speaking, a fear of not having enough money, a fear of being rejected. Let's use fear of public speaking. Step 1. Identify the pole. Fear of public speaking is the negative end of the pole. What is the positive end? It would be something like charismatic confidence or authentic expression. Realize that these two are the same energy, just at different degrees. The fear you feel is actually a massive amount of potential energy. It's your power, just vibrating at a low, contracted level. Step 2. Stop resisting. The next time you feel that fear, do not fight it. Do not say, "I am not afraid." That is a lie, and your mind knows it. Instead, acknowledge it. Ah, there is the energy. I feel the pole of public expression, and my mind is currently at the fear degree. Step 3. The alchemical shift, the reframe. Now you will use your will to slide up the pole. You reframe the sensation. The rapid heartbeat is not fear. It is my body charging itself with energy. The shaky hands are not anxiety. They are an excess of power waiting to be channeled. The butterflies in my stomach are not nerves. They are my inner self getting excited. You are not denying the feeling. You are reinterpreting it. You are changing its polarity. Step 4. Focus on the positive pole. Now shift your entire mental focus to the opposite end. Instead of visualizing failure, fear, you must visualize success, confidence. See yourself speaking clearly. Feel the feeling of connecting with the audience. By holding your attention on the positive pole, you pull your vibration up to meet it. This is not a one-time fix. This is a practice. It is the work of the alchemist. The principle of polarity teaches you that you are never a victim of your emotions. Your negative emotions are not your enemies. They are simply your own power, vibrating at a low degree, waiting for you to transmute them. If polarity is the tool for changing your state, the fifth principle, rhythm, is the law that governs timing and cycles. Mastering this is the key to unshakable peace. The Kybalion states, everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates. This is the principle of the pendulum. It teaches that all of life is a cycle. Nothing stays still. Tides ebb and flow. Seasons turn. Empires rise and fall. Economies boom and bust. And on the mental plane, your moods, your energy, and your creativity will also ebb and flow. This is an unavoidable law. There will be days when you feel inspired, creative, and on top of the world. This is the pendulum swinging to the right, the positive pole. There will be days when you feel depressed, lazy, and in despair. This is the pendulum swinging to the left, the negative pole. Here is the trap that catches 99% of humanity. The law of rhythm states that the measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. This means the higher the high, the lower the low. The more you attach your sense of self to the ecstasy of the upswing, the more pain you will feel when the inevitable downswing comes. Think of an addict. They chase an artificial extreme high, a swing far to the right, and when rhythm compensates, they are pulled into an equally extreme low of withdrawal and depression, a swing far to the left. Think of the person who ties their entire identity to a career success. When they get the promotion, a high, they're ecstatic, but when the company downsizes, a low, their entire sense of self collapses. Most people are prisoners of this pendulum. Their happiness is completely dependent on which way the pendulum is swinging. They're tossed back and forth from elation to despair forever. So what is the solution? Can you stop the pendulum? The Hermeticists say, no, you cannot stop the rhythm of the ocean. It is a universal law, but you can escape it. The master does not try to stop the pendulum. The master achieves what the Kybalion calls the art of neutralization. The master rises above the swing. How? By finding the one place in the entire system that does not move, the center, the pivot point. This pivot point is your conscious awareness. It is the witness we spoke of. It is the part of you that observes your thoughts, that observes your emotions. Your emotions are on the pendulum. They swing from joy to sadness. But the you that is watching the emotions, that you is perfectly still. This is the goal of Gnostic and Hermetic practice, to stop identifying with the pendulum and to start identifying with the pivot point. Practical application: finding the center, the witness. This practice is about disidentification. Step 1. Witness the upswing. The next time you feel a great high, you get wonderful news, you feel a rush of joy, you achieve a big goal, do not just get lost in it. A part of you must remain as the witness. Pause and say, I am observing a feeling of great joy. This is wonderful. I will enjoy it, but I am not this joy. I am the awareness observing this joy. I know that this is the pendulum swinging, and it will eventually swing back, and that is okay. This is not about dampening your joy. It's about not clinging to it. Step 2. Witness the downswing. This is the hard part. The next time you feel a down, a wave of sadness, a day of low energy, a moment of failure, do not panic. Do not resist. Pause and say, I am observing a feeling of sadness. This is uncomfortable, but I am not this sadness. I am the awareness observing this sadness. I know that this is the pendulum swinging, and it is a natural part of the cycle. I will not be dragged down by it. This too shall pass. Step 3. The anchor. In both states, high or low, anchor yourself in the witness. Your anchor can be your breath. The feelings are swinging wildly, but your breath is steady. Your anchor can be a mantra. I am the still point. When you do this, you neutralize the emotional power of the swing. The pendulum still moves, but it no longer drags you with it. You are standing on the shore, watching the tides ebb and flow. You are no longer drowning in them. The principle of rhythm teaches you that you cannot control the cycles of life, but you can control whether you are a victim of them. Unshakable peace is not found at the highs. It is found in the center. The sixth principle, cause and effect, is the law of consequence. This is where you graduate from victim to creator. The Kybalion states, every cause has its effect, every effect has its cause. Chance is but a name for law not recognized. There is no such thing as luck. There is no randomness. There are no coincidences. We live in a universe of perfect, orderly law. Every single thing that happens, from a leaf falling to a war starting, is an effect that grew from a preceding cause, and that effect, in turn, becomes the cause of a future effect. It is an unbreakable golden chain of causation stretching from the first moment of creation. The luck you see in others is just a cause you cannot see. The person who wins the lottery, you call it luck, but there was a cause. They bought a ticket, and a deeper cause. They held a dominant thought of possibility. The person who has a lucky break in their career, you did not see the causes. The 10 years of thankless work, the hundreds of networking emails, the relentless self-education. This principle teaches that there are two planes of existence, the plane of effects and the plane of causes. Most of humanity lives on the plane of effects. This is the victim mindset. This is the puppet. A person on this plane is an effect. Their life is the result of causes they are not aware of. They are moved by the causes of their childhood conditioning, their genetic inheritance, the media they consume, the opinions of their friends, their unconscious fears. They are a leaf in the wind. Their life happens to them. This is the sleep of forgetfulness the Gnostics spoke of. Then there is the plane of causes. This is the plane of the master, the player. A person on this plane rises above being a mere effect and becomes a conscious cause. They know that to get a different effect, they must initiate a different cause. They do not hope for a different life. They cause a different life. They stop reacting to the game and start making the moves. How do you do this? By using the previous principles. You use mentalism to choose the cause, the thought. You use polarity to master your emotional state. You use vibration to align yourself with the desired effect. You become a conscious initiator in the chain of causation. You want a different effect, e.g., a healthier body? You cannot just hope for it. You must be the cause. You must initiate the causes of eating healthy food, moving your body, and thinking thoughts of wellness. The effect must follow. It is law. Practical application. Be the cause. This is the most actionable exercise of all. I want you to pick one area of your life where you feel like a total victim, an effect. Be brutally honest. Is it your finances, your love life, your job? Let's use finances. Your dominant effect is, I am always broke. Step 1. Trace the hidden causes. You are not broke by luck. You are broke by cause. What are the hidden causes you have been unconsciously initiating? Cause: spending $5 on coffee every day. Cause: watching 3 hours of Netflix instead of learning a new skill. Cause: holding a core belief, a mental cause, that money is evil, or I'm not good with money. Cause: fear of asking for a raise. Be ruthless in your inventory. Own your part in the chain of causation. Step 2. Initiate one new cause. You are now going to move to the plane of causes. You will not hope for more money. You will initiate a new cause. This is not a wish. It is an action. Pick one new cause and execute it. Tonight, I will not watch Netflix. I will spend 1 hour reading a book on financial literacy. Tomorrow, I will not buy coffee. I will put that $5 into a savings account. This week, I will update my resume and apply to one higher-paying job. For 10 minutes, I will sit and consciously challenge my belief that money is evil. Step 3. Be patient. There is a time delay between cause and effect. You plant the seed, cause, and must wait for the harvest, effect. This is where most people fail. They initiate one new cause, see no immediate effect, and quit, falling right back to the plane of effects. The principle of cause and effect is your declaration of sovereignty. It is the end of luck and the beginning of design. You are no longer the leaf. You are the wind. The seventh and final principle is the law of creation. It explains how the other principles are put into motion. The Kybalion states, gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. First, we must be absolutely clear. This principle has nothing to do with physical sex. It has nothing to do with male or female as biological or social identities. This is about universal energies. It is the Eastern concept of yin and yang. The Hermeticists called them the masculine and feminine principles. These two energies exist in everything. They are in every atom, every person, regardless of physical gender, and on every plane. including the mental plane. The feminine principle, or yin, is the receptive energy. It is the womb, the prima materia, the chaos of the Gnostics. It is the energy of being, feeling, dreaming, nurturing, and imagining. It is the subconscious mind. It is the vast, dark, fertile soil from which all things grow. Without the feminine, there is nothing to create from. The masculine principle, or yang, is the projective energy. It is the will, the logos, the word, the doer. It is the energy of acting, deciding, focusing, and projecting. It is the conscious mind. It is the spark of light, the seed that is planted in the fertile soil. Without the masculine, creation never starts. Creation of any kind, from baking a cake to building an empire to achieving spiritual enlightenment, requires the balanced interaction of these two principles. A new idea, a seed from the masculine, must be projected, an act of will, into the creative subconscious mind, the feminine womb, where it is nurtured and grown before it can be birthed into physical reality, another act of will. This is where humanity fails. We are almost always hopelessly unbalanced. Some people are all feminine principle. They are great dreamers. They love to visualize, meditate, and vibe. They have wonderful ideas, but they never act. They have no masculine will to project their idea, to make a plan, to do the hard work. Their seeds rot in the soil, never birthed. Other people are all masculine principle. This is the curse of modern hustle culture. They're all doing, willing, grinding, and forcing. They're projecting their will constantly. But they have no feminine receptivity. They never rest, never listen, never receive new ideas. They burn out trying to plant seeds in concrete. Balance is the key. You must be both the dreamer and the doer. Practical application, the inner marriage. This exercise is about balancing your creative energies. Step 1. Diagnose your imbalance. Look at your projects and goals. Where are you stuck? Are you stuck in the dreaming phase with a dozen great ideas you've never started? Or are you stuck in the grinding phase, working hard but seeing no results and feeling burnt out? Step 2. The sacred feminine practice. If you are stuck doing, you must schedule time to receive. For 30 minutes, you will do nothing productive. You will go for a walk in nature without a podcast. You will meditate. You will just sit and listen. You will ask a question like, what is the next step? And you will receive the answer, not force it. This is filling the well. This is nurturing the fertile soil. Step 3, the sacred masculine practice. If you are stuck dreaming, you must schedule time to act. Take your favorite idea. You will apply your will, masculine. For 30 minutes, you will not dream about it. You will act on it. You will write the first page. You will send the first email. You will outline the first steps of the business plan. This is planting the seed. This is the spark of divine action. The principle of gender teaches you to become a complete creator. You must honor both your inner will and your inner womb. You must marry the two. You must be the poet and the warrior, the dreamer and the architect. These are the 7 principles. They are not 7 separate laws. They are 7 aspects of one great law. Mentalism is the truth that the universe is mind. Correspondence is the truth that all planes are connected. Vibration is the truth that all things are energy in motion. Polarity is the tool that allows you to change that energy. Rhythm is the law of cycles that you must master. Cause and effect is the law of action that moves you from victim to creator. Gender is the creative process that balances doing and being. Thoth, the scribe of the gods, recorded this code. Hermes Trismegistus, the master, taught it, and now it is in your hands. This ancient code does not promise you a life free from problems. It promises you a life free from prison. It does not promise you a life without lows. It promises you the peace of the center. It does not promise you magic powers. It reveals to you the profound, godlike responsibility that comes from knowing the truth that your life is not happening to you, the truth that your life is a creation. The anxiety, the bad luck, the invisible strings, they were never the work of archons or fate. They were the work of these 7 laws, which you were unconsciously misusing. Now you can use them consciously. The instruction manual for reality is in your hands. The life change you seek is not in knowing these principles, it is in living them. The work of the Master begins now.